Good evening, everybody. I'd like to call this meeting to order at 5:30 p.m. I'm going on to item 1A, roll call. Mr. Koenig, can you please take roll?
Board President Garcia,
Here.
Vice President Ocampo,
Here.
Clerk Perez, Trustee Gilpus Pereira, Trustee Jimenez.
Thank you. Yes.
Two board members.
Two board members are currently absent. Oh, we're going to go on to item 1B, Pledge of Allegiance. And the Pledge of Allegiance this evening will be recited by Camila Davila and Miguel Angel Vargas from sixth graders from Virginia Rocca Barden. Can you please come to the front and lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance?
Please rise. Right hand over your heart. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, by liberty and justice for all.
Okay, moving on to item 1C, Spotlight. This is an opportunity to feature up to 3-minute presentation, the positive things that are taking place throughout the district. Mr. Koenig, are there any spotlights?
Yes, we have three spotlights that I know of. The first two are going to be delivered by Angelica Pulido. And the first one has to do with an award that we received during the Hartnell College Foundation's STEAM Family Science Day. Angelica?
Good afternoon, board. Thank you for having us. I'd like to bring up some of our students that were involved in the tech challenge. So, and their families can come up as well. Come on. Well, we do have one of our students here today. We did invite them all. Not all of them could make it, but so the expanded learning program has several programs that fall under the expanded learning umbrella. One of our parallel programs this year and last year was the Tech Challenge. It's kind of sponsored through our Hartnell College Foundation partnership. So I wanted to highlight that at the March 15th event at Hartnell College Family Day, some of our students were recognized, as was the Alsa Union School District, by the Salinas City Council for their excellence in expanding STEAM education through high-quality educational experiences and partnerships. So this is a plaque presented to the LSL School District for sponsoring and encouraging the growth of our students and recognizing them for their excellence. So a big round of applause to our student that's present here and to you as well for making it happen. Thank you very much. Thank you. I would like to invite you guys to take a picture with our wonderful student, if we can. The board, if the board can take a picture. Thank you. One more round of applause for our student. And yes, we want this in there. Thank you very much.
Do you have the names of the students who were recognized on Saturday?
I don't have them
Okay,
on me,
all right.
but I do have a
right.
list of each. What a second spotlight you mentioned?
Were the names of the students?
Oh, the names of the students, yes.
Okay.
Sorry.
We'll move on to the next one.
Thank you very much.
And I'm also told that Director Alicia Fletcher is going to give us some information on the migrant competition. Oh, she's not here. This will wait until the next one. So that is all the spotlights that I'm aware of.
All right, thank you so much. We're going to move on to item 1D, adoption of agenda. Can I get a motion to adopt the agenda?
So move.
Second.
Okay, Mr. Ocampo and Ms. Gilpa seconded. Comments or questions? Mr. Koenig, can you please take the line vote?
Board President Garcia,
Yes.
Vice President Ocampo,
Yes.
Trustee Gilpus Pereira,
Item passes 3-0 with 2 of our board members being absent. We're moving on to item 2, public comment concerning items on the open session agenda and/or non-agenda items guidelines. There will be a 2-minute limit for individuals and a 20-minute limit on total public comments. There is no ceding of one's time to other individuals. Item 2A, individuals wishing to address the Board of Trustees on open session agenda items and/or other items may do so at this time, starting time 5:36. Okay. And I am going to butcher this name, and I'm sorry, please forgive me. Atamakasla? Is that you? Yeah, yes, thank you. Can you say your name for me once you get there?
Atma,
Adama,
Atma Khalsa. Yes.
thank you.
Okay, so the reason I'm here is on the March 12th, item 8O, consent agenda 8O. So I'm here to talk about my concerns, the plan to convert a room at Barton into an office for SPED staff. The room I currently use and has been in use by the speech pathologist at Barton since it was built is perfect for what I do. It's about a quarter the size of a regular classroom, which works great. It has a large window that allows for transparency that I always keep open, work with students, and is well located. The psychologists and counselors also are very happy with their locations at the school. And there's no problem or ever has been with lacking an appropriate space to work in. The counselor now has a whole classroom, and that works great for her working with the kids. The school psychologist really likes her office as well. Talking with my principal, Mrs. Pio, it could work out very well if that space is used for sticks and stones and other things like that, other ancillary staff, if she has the discretion to use that. There are 2 classrooms that are not currently used for the whole class, so no one is currently lacking space. A concern also is where the offices will be. I see room 1, that is currently has a special needs. Room 1 in the main campus is a section that has 2 special day classes, a TK, and 3 kinder classes with a gate to help with ingress and egress of students and adults. It has a small playground, some play structures, so it's set up great for those particular students. To replace one of the classrooms with offices means that one of the classes would have to move, and that's really not a good idea for those TK, kinder, and special day class students. There's also concern about the cost of $35,000 for something that's not necessary. Can't really speak for Montebella, but from what I could see, there wasn't a need at Montebella. The school psychologist's office was fine, and also where the speech therapists are there is fine. I'm not sure if it's room 1 or room P1 because there is a space in P1, but that's very far. It's across a parking lot and there's a locked gate. So it would be really hard for me to have to guide the kids back and forth from there through the locked gate. So that's my concern. I just don't think it's a good idea or necessary. And it's a waste of money. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Do we have anybody else? Okay, we're going to close our open session agenda items at 5:39. Public comment. We're moving on to item 2B, association comments. LaSalle Teachers Association. Thank you. How about the California School Employees Association? Chapter 577.
Good evening, Board President, board members, Superintendent, Cabinet members, and colleagues. Tonight, I would like to talk about CABE, salary schedule for classified, job posting, and negotiations. First, I would like to say thank you for allowing some classified staff members to attend the CABE conference this past week. I know I question why there is no equality on how the classified staff are asked to share a hotel room with parents or other classified staff. I believe there should be no distinction between board members, management, certificate, classified staff, or parents. Only classified was need to share the rooms. Our actions affect each other, and our behavior are reflection of the respect we have for each other. That is from Cara Coração class that we do with parents. I don't recall exactly when, but I believe between 2018 2020, the district changed the director's salary schedule to be more attractive and retain them. Classified staff salary schedule, first step is under the minimum wage, California state. The district always assure us that no one is placed on the first step, but is that truly fair for the staff that are here for years? CSEA in its chapter 577 would like to know why the district posts the higher position administration right away and classified jobs are not. On January 8, the board approved the position of Information Specialist 3, and it's now April, and there is no job posting yet. The same thing happened with the district translator interpreter position. We brought many times to the board approved and no job posting, and we did ratify again to meet the district requirement. And on March 12, the board approved it, but no job posting yet. To close, we would like to know why the district is bringing Manuel Martinez, the district general counsel, to the negotiations table. That has never happened before. If the district has money to pay the district general counsel, that means the district has money to offer better compensation to the classified staff. Most of the classified staff live within the district boundaries, and it's very difficult to survive on their salaries that we receive. And please, don't tell us that if we were not satisfied, we can go and apply for a different job or to another district. If that is not okay for the administrator, then why is it okay for classified? Ni más, ni menos. We are just asking for what is just. No more, no less. We are asking for what is just. Thank you.
Thank you. Is anybody here from the United Substitute Teachers Union?
President Garcia, may I?
Sure.
So in these cases, I know we do not respond at this time. They're sharing the bargaining unit. But I would like to ask the list of questions that CSEA has, who and when will, and in what setting will those be answered? And can we have a copy of the questions?
If CSEA will send me the questions, I'll get them answered.
Can we tell them maybe by when, Mr. Koenig?
I'll take a look at them. Most of them, I think we can answer before the end of the week.
Thank you.
Okay, we're going to go on to item 3, presentations. A school site presentation, Principal Luis Romero, Virginia Rock Barton Elementary School.
Rocco Martin Elementary School and
My apologies. Oh, there we go. I'll start all over. Good evening, everybody. Mr. Koenig, President, Ms. Garcia, board members and cabinet members. My name is Luis Romero, and I'm the school principal at Virginia Roccabarty Elementary School. Next to me is Ms. Salinas, my assistant principal. And I just wanted to begin by honoring Ms. Virginia Roccabarty, just for those that are new to our district or new board members or anybody that does not know who Ms. VRB was. So Ms. Virginia Roccabarty was the first superintendent of the LSI Union School District. She also served as a school principal. And after her retirement, the district was going to open up the 6th elementary school for the district, and which was named after Ms. Virginia Roccabarty. And I got to work at VRB as a teacher, and she was still alive then, and she would come to school and read aloud to the kids and just hang out in the staff lounge and have conversations with the staff. So we still have those memories from Ms. VRB. And I just want to give kudos to Ms. Melendez. She brought a lot of memorabilia to VRB that is displayed in our office. So you guys are welcome to stop by our office and check out all Ms. VRB's accomplishments. Next is our school overview. So just like all the schools in the district, we are a TK through 6th grade school. We do offer our bilingual programs at VRB. We do have 2 newcomer classes at VRB. We have a 3rd and 4th grade cohort and a 5th and 6th grade cohort. We also have 2 special day classrooms, general academics, and we serve students 3rd through 6th grade. We have about 522 students. Close to 70% of our students are English learners. Most of our students are socioeconomically disadvantaged. We have a team of 22 teachers, and we have a full team of counselors, school psychologists, and then just recently we hired our community school coordinator. We'd like to begin with our professional learning team ideal that we developed this past summer. At Virginia Roccabarty, we will provide a high quality, comprehensive, meaningful instruction for all students. We will work collaboratively to improve school systems and structures so all students succeed. So throughout the presentation, a lot of the work that we've been doing is going to be related to our ideal and working collaboratively to improve our current systems and structures and to improve our instruction. I also want to take this opportunity to give a kudos and a shout out to our instructional leadership team. As a principal, without the support of your team leaders, we won't accomplish those common goals that we have as a school. So our instruction leadership team, I know they spend a lot of time in professional development, a lot of time at the classroom to build their capacity, to give them those tools to go back to the grade level teams and lead those grade level discussions and promote some adult learning so our students can benefit from it. So I just want to go over our PLC journey, and I wanted to start starting from last school year. And for us at VRB, a big aha or something that kind of light up the spark regarding professional learning communities was when we attended the PLC Institution in Pasadena. And Mr. Koenig drove a team of principals out there safely. And I was very fortunate to take a couple of my teachers out there, and we were really inspired of the conference of what a professional learning community should look like, sound like at the school site. And after the conference, we really wanted to bring back some of the learning back to the school site. So we did contracted solution to offer professional development to our grade level teams, and where they worked in different areas to refine our PLC process. This current school year, we are working with Solution Tree. They're providing professional development to our instructional leadership team on continuing to refine our PLC processes. And then a big plan for next school year is working on RTI, just thinking creatively so we can provide interventions for our students, allocating some time in our schedule to intervene. And also, we're looking into providing team time to our teachers, weekly team time, because our teachers need they need time to really get together and meet and collaborate, to really dig deep and support the kids that need extra support. a big change we did this school year at VRB from the Learning from Solution tree and some of our learning throughout the PD is we created a master schedule. So prior to this, every teacher would turn in about 22, I will get about 22 daily schedules. Okay, and every teacher was teaching math or ELA at different times. And this school year, we did this shift and created a master schedule, and where now teachers, grade level teams were asked to turn in a common daily schedule. So if I'm a fifth grade teacher, I work with my fifth grade team to turn in a common schedule, and where we're going to be, we're committing to teach the same subject at the same time. And this really supports in coordinating services for our students. And also everybody has access to this schedule. So our RSP, speech, counselors, we're trying to avoid and pulling kids out of the main tier 1 instruction. Something we're experimenting with at VRB this school year, just response to intervention. We're really trying to change our mindset that it's our students and we're all responsible for the learning of our students. So when a student is not understanding and we need to intervene, it's going to take all of us to get in there and support the teachers and our students. And that's kind of like a concept where we're kind of learning through some of professional development that it's not just up to our teachers to intervene, that it really is going to take our administrators, our support staff to get in there and support our group of teachers. So in this picture here, it's our second grade team. We're working on a common forward assessment on regrouping, subtraction, and addition. After we did the data analysis, the groups, we separated the students in different groups. The students that were ready to extend the lesson and 2 groups that needed extra support. So as you see in the picture, we have Ms. on the left, our instructional coach working with a group of kids, and then Ms. Salinas working with a group of kids. And just doing working with them on different learning modalities. We're doing this they did this for 3 days for 30 minutes, and it was just a beautiful thing where kids understand that master the concept, got an extension, and students that needed extra support got the extra support for those 3 days, and we reassessed, and the students, they grew. Okay, so we're trying to figure out how we can do this for next year, how we can make this a consistent practice at VRB. Just want to go over just a template that we use to kind of dive deep into our data analysis when our grade level team meetings, when they have their grade level team meetings. They answer those 6 questions, but not only is this process important for them to understand what students are not understanding or which student needs extra support, but also teachers get to learn from one another. What instructional practices work best? If a teacher got a, better results, what did that teacher do? So it's just the process that we go through when we're looking through those common forward assessments, and we have those conversations on how to intervene. So already data, kind of still old data now since we're doing our last benchmark assessment. So here I'm displaying, we're showing the diagnostic 1 and diagnostic 2. And as you can see overall, our students are growing, right? We have students getting out of the red, some students getting out of the yellow, and our green is getting a little bigger for math and reading. So we're kind of anxious and waiting to complete our benchmark number 3, and just to see how our students are continuing to progress. So chronic absenteeism, I want to thank the district office just for the support with the incentives. Is really, our kids really look forward in getting those attendance incentives. Yes, at VRB, we also have a partnership with the Alisa Rotary. They've been supporting us this is our 2nd school year. So last school year, all of our students that have perfect attendance for the entire school year that were here 180 days got a bicycle at the end of the year. And that was all sponsored by the Alisa Rotary. So every student got a bicycle for perfect attendance. And we're doing that this school year as well. Also, every trimester, students that have perfect attendance for the trimester, they enter a raffle, and the Alisa Rotary donated 2 Nintendo Switches. So that's real motivator to get students here, to have the students be at school. So it's a good motivating factor. They want to be part of the raffle, and they look forward to the bicycles at the end of the school year. And here's some of the data on how our rates, our chronic absenteeism rates are looking kind of like pre-pandemic. So those incentives are working for our kids. So VRB Speech Services, we have a partnership with the CCUMB, and we love this partnership just to the fact that we have in-person services for our student receiving speech, okay? We have student clinicians from CSUMB, they're students, so they come with a lot of energy and they want to work with our students. And we have 3 student clinician supervisors that oversee the students and also kind of manage all the IEP documentation. So we have 3 clinics at VRB. We have a preschool clinic for the in-person speech services. We have a clinic for our students for general education, and then we have a clinic for our students that are part of our special day classrooms. Parent community engagement, as we have our cafecitos and our school site council meetings, but something new that we did this year, we have a partnership with Brighter Bites. So twice a month, they come to Virginia Rocca Barden, and they provide fresh produce and vegetables to all of our families, so they sign up. And this is at dismissal, so parents pick up their students and they pick a bag of produce that parents can take home. Also, all of our staff members participate as well, so all our staff members can take a bag of fresh produce home. And along from the produce, Brighter Bites has a digital platform where teachers can log in and provide lessons to our students on healthy eating habits. And this is our costing. So our team of counselors that provide extra support to our students. So the year to date, we have a total of 152 referrals. 42 of those are SSTs for those students that need additional either academic or behavioral support. We have 50 referrals to the FRC and 60 referrals that were sent to our different counselors. And then our PBS events. So every month at VRB, we have our events where those students that were respectful, responsible, and safe get to participate. We have Loteria, Falls and Crafts, Cozy Cinema, and Glow in the Dark Dance, and Slime Fun. And then the big one at the end of the year, we take we do a raffle. We take 40 of our students to the Santa Cruz Beach Boardwalk, and our little ones, we take them to Bufante Gardens. And I want to give kudos to our committee that it's led by Miss Salinas and our school counselor as well. And then facilities. So at Virginia Rocca Barden, restroom has been an issue for quite some time. And, throughout the day, we have about 70 staff members, and there's only 2 restrooms at VRB. So usually during recess time, lunchtime, you'll find staff members lining up to use the restroom. So now we've got new facilities. We have new restroom facilities that are they're getting finished. So we look forward to use those facilities. Now our staff members are going to have access to more restrooms. And I just want to, thank you guys for maintaining our facilities, and I'm sure our staff members will be happy to access those restrooms as soon as they're completed. And also the marquee. Just recently this school year, I know this has been it has been idea since I was a teacher at VRB. That's 10 plus years that the marquee was an idea, and it's finally it's done, it's completed. And again, I think our school looks modern, up to date, and so far it's been a lot of positive comments about the marquee. So I just want to thank you guys again for maintaining our schools. And that's it. If you guys have any questions?
Mr. Jimenez, or did you have any questions? No? Okay, Mr. Campo?
Well, I just had a question and just a small comment. What does COST stand for?
Also, it's a correlation of services team. Coordination of services team, yes. Did I get that right? Yeah, coordination, yes.
Counseling services, right?
Yeah, so it's a team that gets together. Usually it consists of our school psychologists, our counselors, our effective school solution counselor, our social worker, and they go through the referrals, and through conversation, they'll figure out who can best serve the student or the family. Yeah.
So it's a coordination of service team, I'm assuming.
Correct, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, and thank you. Yeah, the only comment I had was, and it's no reflection on you, Mr. Romero, no reflection on you, but because this is sort of a common practice in our district, And it has to do with some of the vocabulary that we use in our reports. The reason I bring it up is because I think language, well, in my opinion, I think language, matters. And I've seen it in other reports where we commonly use the word socially, economically disadvantaged, which in my opinion, I think is a negative. It's, for example, like I wear glasses, right? So you could say, oh, Mr. Ocampo is visually disadvantaged, which is kind of a negative. It's like, poor guy, he's got it tough. He's got this disadvantage. And I think it's necessary to use different vocabulary instead of disadvantaged. I think it's better to use the word challenge to say our students are socially economically challenged. Mr. Ocampo is visually challenged. Because that's more of a positive. It's like I have a challenge, I can overcome it. So it's just a suggestion and we do that a lot in our reports. We use language which, in my opinion, is negative, and we can use other language which is more positive. And hopefully at some point we can start looking more closely at our language and maybe tweak it, change it a little bit. As I said, no reflection on you, Mr. Rivera. You're doing a great job. It's just something that I've noticed over and over, and it's always been in the back of my mind. And so I thought, I think I'm going to bring it up today. So, but thank you for your report.
You're welcome.
Ms. Gilpas?
Yes, thank you. Thank you very much. I wanted to thank you too for accepting a visit, an unannounced visit from me. We should make an appointment, and I didn't. And the reason, and I wanted to commend Mr. Koenig for this, because we were at another school. I drove by Las Casitas and I saw some really bad graffiti right there on the bridge. It had cuss words, and that was a concern to me. And so Mr. Koenig got on the phone, I guess called the maintenance department. Like in 5 or 10 minutes, it was maybe a half an hour. It was already painted because I came back the same way. So kudos to Mr. Koenig and the maintenance department, because we don't want the kids to see that, especially if it's cuss words. That's negative. So we talked about maybe painting some murals or something there, because the graffiti people kind of respect artwork, and it won't, something maybe as a light suggestion. But I did have one question and then a couple more comments. So you reported here on the absenteeism, and so I know it went from 17.4 to 9% in 1 year, but you don't have like currently. Do you know what it's like currently?
No, so I think it's a year behind, so we'll know next school year, correct? Yeah.
You
So,
can kind of get a feel for your attendance going pretty good.
yeah, I mean, yeah, it's probably
Well, we'll
similar.
wait,
Yeah.
I don't want to put you on the spot there because we want you to come back again. When that's hard questions here. And so what I was going to comment, so I know, and I talked about my visit before in our district, we used to have, or we would go by, I don't even know if anybody told us to, by assigned schools, like Jesse Sanchez, MLK, and Fremont are Gilpas schools. I don't know, Steinbeck, Creekside, and whatever are the district that Ms. Garcia represents, but that's not how it works. We are all board members of all the schools. So you might, and the reason I'm saying that, you may get a visit from anybody, or any school may get a visit from any one of the board members. So we don't have to worry and say, oh, I wonder why we're not assigned. And I like it like that, because before, honestly, I used to think a little, some board members, and not ours, but from other districts, are territorial. And we don't want to get into that. So the way this is with this, which is with almost all other districts except Alisal for a while, it just gives the feeling that we represent all schools. So thank you for accepting me on that invite. And then my other,
Did you have a tostada that day, Ms.?
I
Karen?
did, I had
Okay.
two. I had two tostadas, and I was thinking, it'd be nice to go visit the schools, maybe during lunch, take my own lunch though, and talk to the teachers, because that's where they hang out, is in the lunchroom. So I got to talk to a really enthusiastic sub that we had, and and it was really nice. It was in like a couple of the classified staff. So I really enjoyed the visit, and thank you. That was a great presentation, and to your assistant principal who smiles, and by that she means she's supporting you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, President Garcia.
Yes, thank you. And thank both of you. I know, Ms. Garcia, you're sitting there, but I know you're very supportive of your principal. I do have maybe just two questions and maybe can, and if you don't know the answer, that's fine. Like what is your average class size?
So lower grades, K3, I'll say about 26, 25, 26. And then fourth, fifth, and sixth, I think every class is about 32 and 31, 32.
Okay, that's a-
Yeah.
Phew. Okay, and the other question I have for you is, I do know that the cost teams, you had 152 referrals, and were you there last year? I don't can you refresh my memory?
Yes.
Okay.
My third year, yes. I was
Okay,
there.
thank you. So have they gone down? Are they going up? What do you see as a trend?
That's something I have to go back to you, Ms. Garcia.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll probably have a better idea towards the end of the year because, I mean, referrals are still kind of
Coming
coming in, yeah.
Yeah. But we hope that with all these services that you have, that maybe those referrals will now start coming down,
Right, yeah.
right? I mean, that's usually the hope for all administrators. But anyway, thank you for your time. Thank you for putting this together. I think it's well put together and I don't have any other questions, but thank you very much to both of you.
You're welcome.
We're moving on now to item 1B, Facilities Update. Associate Superintendent of Business Services, Mr. Rais Abasi.
Good afternoon, Board President Garcia, trustees, Superintendent Koenig, cabinet, and colleagues. So we are going to make this beautiful transition from last presentation to this presentation, and that's about facilities. So we are going to cover 4 areas in facilities. It's a big, huge area. And when we say facilities, it means construction, maintenance, and renovation of facilities. We're going to look at all the recently completed projects in the last 3 years. Then we are going to review all the current projects which are going on, projects in the pipeline, which are in the planning stage, and some future projects. To begin with, completed projects in the last 3 years. We did complete Ellis Hale's 2-story building, Ellis Hale Community Schools 2-story building. That was phase 1 of the construction. It was a large project. It had some challenges and difficulties, but we did manage to finish that. Next, we did finish Buckhorn Early Learning Center. That project was in the pipeline since 2015. It took about 9 years to complete, but it's a beautiful building and it's going to serve the community very well. We also finished completion of Loya TK Kinder classrooms. It's a building with 3 classrooms and it looks beautiful. For that project, we received some state funding and the rest of the money came from our own pockets. Moving on, during our summer projects, we did some exterior paintings of multi-purpose rooms, and that's across the board. We have done that at multiple school sites. We also did some renovation of multi-purpose rooms. That included removing table pockets within multi-purpose rooms, and that created additional space for other things. We did interior paintings. We did some flooring repairs at the same time. Another major project or projects that was blacktop and courtyard repaving. And we did that at Frank Paul, MLK, Jesse Sanchez, Steinbeck, Creekside, and VRB. That was a major project, and that had so much coordination between different agencies and different departments, but we did manage that. We also did sidings, trims, and rain gutter repairs at many school sites. We built a new shade structure or canopy outside MPR at LSL Community School. We built relocatable or temporary classrooms at 3 school sites, Frank Paul, LSL Community School, and Fremont. And the thing about these temporary relocatable classrooms is that they're temporary by definition, but after building them, now we're thinking about keeping them because we spend so much money during construction, during site preparation, during installation of everything. I think it's worth keeping those buildings intact and not remove them. We also provided a new restroom or modernized the school buildings at Frank Paul Elementary School. And that project has many difficulties, but we did manage to finish that. We did another major project, and that was HVAC systems installation or air conditioning cooling systems at all of the school sites. That project was about $10 million projects. One-time money that we received from COVID sources, that was the money that we used for HVAC systems. We also have new PA systems at all school sites, and that includes new clocks. Another major project was to provide ViewSonic or interactive TVs at every classroom, at every school site. That brings technology, really good technology into our classrooms. We installed surveillance cameras at 6 school sites. Making use of the community school program, we have provided a room or a space for community schools for every school site. We renovated old VRB library into a training room / community room. We had some issues with some old mold and some other issues at VRB. We refurbished 2 classrooms to make them safe and risk-free for our classroom, for teachers and students. Frank Paul Elementary School. We installed artificial grass, and that has become a beautiful use of that facility. We installed 6-foot fence around baseball field at Frank Paul Elementary School. We have done kindergarten repaving project at Creekside Elementary School. We did road repairs outside MLK student drop-off area. We installed speed control bumps at Montebella and LSL Community Schools. And as Mr. Romero was showing us, we have a new marquee at VRB. We provided carpet flooring at Steinbeck Library, and that was a request that came from a student. We refurbished 2 classrooms, relocatable buildings, actually I should not say classrooms, at Child Nutrition Services. And this project includes converting one of the old classroom buildings or relo buildings into storage, and the second one into a training or staff room. At the district office, we created a new meeting room. It's called Room B. We split Deputy Superintendent's office into 2 offices, thanks to Ms. Anzo. We also created another office outside Ms. Anzo's room into a brand new office. Now moving on to current projects, the projects which are going on as we speak. 2 of the major projects that we are working on right now are LSL Community School Phase 2 and Fremont Elementary School Phase 3. And this includes demolishing old buildings and constructing new buildings. We're also currently actively working on Chavez Elementary kinder classrooms, and this includes construction of 3 classrooms. We are installing 18 brand new relocatable classrooms for ELOP or ACES programs across the board, across the school district. We are creating classroom partitions for service providers at multiple school locations. We are currently working on installing surveillance cameras at 6 remaining school sites, plus special education building, plus Buckhorn Early Learning Center. We're installing EV charging stations for our new electric buses. Currently, we have only 4 electric charging stations, but we have 12 buses. We need additional EV chargers. We are creating a new permanent restroom at VRB, and that is something Mr. Romano just mentioned. We are currently working on Steinbeck Kinder area repaving. That project is almost complete. We are also creating Fremont Kinder repaving and repurposing area, and that is going to create new parking space and for storage containers purpose. Currently, we have some projects in the pipeline. These are in final stages of planning. One of them is Creekside Elementary School. We are going to build 3 classrooms. For that project, we have some state funding, and we are going to provide matching funds from our own school district. For the district office expansion, we are going to build a new warehouse as well as annex building. We are currently working on nutrition services warehouse installation project. We have installation in the warehouse, which is very old and it's developing cracks. We need to rebuild. Currently, we are working on Performing Arts Center. It's also called Black Box Center. And for future projects, and these are the projects that can take place between 5 to 10 years from now, School 13 construction, and maybe we need 1 more school in the CAST area. School 14, that is going to be in the East Specific Area Plan, and that is going to be 1 school or 2 schools as we have new needs in that area. We are currently evaluating the need or feasibility to buy additional piece of land so we can have a new marts yard and transportation yard, plus a permanent board room. The picture in this slide, that's a schematic design for School 13. This is going to be across from Alvarez High School. Currently, we are planning or assuming that this area is going to create about 500 students. So we need a facility for at least 500 students at this point, from kinder through 6th grade. That's a very initial planning phase because there's nothing there. If you go there, these are all fields, no streets, no utilities, nothing. But we do need to start planning because we need to have CEQA study done. We need to have environmental impact study done. For that purpose, we are already working on that. All these projects have huge amount of coordination between inside and outside agencies. We are constantly working with California Department of State Architects. We are working with OPSC, California Department of Education, City of Salinas, and all the outside agencies. At the same time, from our own within district, we have very large amount of coordination between technology services, MOS department, my friends, Clemente Villarreal and George Enzo, they are a constant source of support and guidance for all of these projects because they have institutional and historical knowledge of the district. They know facilities, they know everything about the district. So they are really helpful in this process and really appreciate their support with all these projects. So this was my brief update. I would love to answer any questions that you may have.
I'm gonna start off over here. Ms. Skibas, do you have any questions or comments? Thank you. How about on this side? Mr. Ocampo or Mr.? No? No? Okay, Mr. Ocampo.
I just want to say that looking forward to that new theatrical building that we're going to build at Montebella, and also looking forward to moving MOTS out to, what is that? Williams Road,
yes.
out there, which will create more space, because I know MOTS is somewhat crowded. And I was always really happy and continue to be happy about the fact that we put these modern televisions with computer capabilities in all the classrooms, touch screen, that bring the world into the classroom. So I think we've done some great things. I think we're probably going to continue to do some great things. So, and I've enjoyed all of it. Yeah.
Anybody else? No? Okay. Thank you. I'm glad to hear that we do have HVAC systems. And you say in all schools, do we have them in all the classrooms? Is that what that refers to? HVAC is air conditioning, right?
Air conditioning system,
Yeah.
yes. Every
So-
classroom at every school site has air
Thank you,
conditioning
because
now.
I was going, okay, you have them in the schools. Are you sure? You have them in all the classrooms? Because that's so important. I mean, I'm a current teacher and boy, Salinas has gotten hotter and usually gets hot right around September, October. And I am so happy to hear that we have HVAC in all the classrooms. That's very important to me. Thank you for that. Also, I noticed that you put PA systems. Is that PA systems in all the sites? Is that what you said?
Yes, every school site.
And so my follow-up question to that is, do those PA systems work with the emergency communication systems, or are they one and the
Yes,
same?
they do.
They do,
They-
because
they are-
I've been in sites where, you know, you change something and then it doesn't work with what you got, and then you can have to deal with all that. So our PA systems work in conjunction with our
Yes.
emergency bells and all that.
We have state-of-the-art system.
Very nice. Okay, well, thank you. And I look forward to all these new projects because there's so many and they're all needed. They're very much needed. So thank you for that. Oh, I did have one more question. I know I've said this before about the EV charging stations. Is there any plans maybe in the future to have one at every school site? And I'm throwing that out there. I know we need them for the buses. I don't know if we need them at a site. And the reason I'm saying that is like, I think a lot of our staff might have uh, electrical cars and, you know, it'd be so convenient to have one on there. I know that there's a charge to that. I don't know if there's any kind of grants that people can look for to see if we could sustain a charging station at the sites for our staff members, but maybe you can come back and just see if you can. I think I've said that before, like I've asked about charging stations before.
Okay, we can definitely look into that,
Yeah.
but currently we do not have anything in the pipeline for that.
Mhm.
And the reason is the project that we are currently working on, that's a grant that we received
Right.
from PG&E. So
Mhm.
we are making use of that funding that we received from PG&E
Uh-huh.
just to install those charging stations.
Right.
But on our own, we have not analyzed that. And it's a very complicated project
I see.
because our current structure does not support installing any charging stations.
Okay.
The electrical systems we have between us and PG&E, they are not the best.
I
So
see.
that requires actually changing the electrical system that we have, and
Mhm.
that can be extremely expensive project.
I understand.
But definitely we can analyze that and come back to
Sure.
you.
Maybe there's a grant out there, but thank you. Thank you for that.
Of course.
Okay, we are now moving on to item 4, board member and superintendent reports. Mr. Koenig, do you want to start or?
Sure. Yeah, I just want to say that last week we had our spring intersession at VRB, Loya, and Barden. And we had almost 600 students every day, 200 at each one of those sites. That's not quite, but almost 10% of our district enrollment. And as you walk through those school sites, you saw kids learning and really having fun learning. They were flying drones, they were programming drones, they were building robots, performing tasks with their robots. There was a lot of physical activity. There was a lot of academics. It was a great program. And I just want to give a shout out, first of all, to the 3 lead teachers that we had. Irma Marroquin was at Loya, Juanita Perea was at Barden, and Tara Crampton was at VRB. And they did an absolutely sensational job. And finally, I just want to give a shout out to Jose Fausto and the hardworking Expanded Learning Opportunities Department for putting together this wonderful program for the kids. It was great.
Thank you, Mr. Koenig. Mrs. Silvas Ferreira?
Thank you, President Garcia. What I wanted to talk about was CABE. It was an amazing, amazing conference that a lot of us went to. I think 4 of us board members were able to go. I think the theme was the EL framework and roadmap that gave us a lot of information on that. And then, they talked about the EL plan, which one does our district have? And I don't think I could have answered any of those questions if it wasn't for how these workshops were. So I was able to, and I'm not going to list them, but I was able to attend about 10, 11 workshops because there's like 2 in the morning and then 2 in the afternoon and then one after 5. So it was so enlightening. And they gave us a lot of questions that we can ask as board members. And so that was very, very helpful also. I wanted to thank Dr. Alvarez because I have the out-of-district business request here, and I think it's an estimate, but like 33 people signed up for CABE. I don't know how many went. I don't know if it was that many, but that's a lot of people for one person to kind of look over. And she really did her best trying to help the parents, even the board members. And poor thing, I don't even know if she showed up for work this week because she helped us with everything. So I really want to say thank you to Dr. Alvarez. And also, I really made it a point with the board got to do some partnership. I would call it building relations with our parents. So we had talked to our DLAC president, Ms. Mendoza, to see if we could either go with her to a workshop or we could have a meal. And then thanks to Ms. Blanca Miranda, they were able to organize a dinner. So all four of our board members, we went together to Outback and we had I thought it was great. One parent said she'd even show us how to make tamales from where it was from Oaxaca. So it was really nice because a lot of times we don't get that. But the board did that with the parents. Like I said, I got to go with our DLAC president, Ms. Mendoza, on one presentation. I don't remember which one it was, but it was real nice just to kind of, like we said, build relationships. Then I got to a highlight too, was sitting with CSEA during the awards dinner, which was nice. Got to talk to CSEA. It was really good. There were some glitches there, and I think that happens all the time. I totally agree with CSEA President Keiko that, what are we doing when we say board members don't have to share rooms? And of course, I'm not going to share with the male, but I mean, we do have females and males. We don't have to share rooms. Nobody else shares rooms, I think, except classified and parents. And yet, in one case, one of our classified had to share a room with a parent. And it was even a non-LSL parent, but that must have been very uncomfortable, very uncomfortable. So either we don't have 33 people attending or we get money as a suggestion so that parents can go to and parents could partake of the luncheons too. I talked to Miss Miranda that went in not knowing that it was you had to have a ticket, and I think they escorted her and another parent out, and that's embarrassing. Or they told them they couldn't partake in the meal, and I just felt so bad about that. So I'm sure we're going to be able to discuss this how and when, I don't know, just to and I commend all of the parents that went because they want to go. They're willing to share a room with someone they don't know just to go to the conference because it's a great conference. It was CABE's 50th year anniversary. So it was very enlightening, and I just had a great time in the building relationships, spending time with the board. Also, we went to a session together, had a meal together, and were able to network there, and it was an awesome conference. So thank you to the community because we go because of the taxpayers' dime. We don't pay really for anything. We get reimbursed for most everything. So a lot of funds are involved there where we appreciate the opportunity to attend. And thank you to the board for making it a nice conference too, and the networking together. That's it. Thank you.
Mr. Ocampo?
Yes. Well, at first I'd like to say that I actually agree with La Señora Quilpa said. This idea of parents having to share rooms, not a good idea. At the very least, I think give parents the option, if they want their own room, give them their own room. But if they're with someone they know and they feel comfortable with and they want to share, then I suppose that's okay. Because I don't know, as adults, I think it's good many times to have your space, kind of your privacy. I can remember going to conferences where I had to share rooms and sometimes staying with people that snored all night and not getting a wink of sleep in the entire night. I mean, it can be traumatic. So I would support, La Señora Guilpas. I think that we should rethink that. We should, rethink that particular practice. This morning, I spent at Monterey Peninsula College. David Serena, who teaches Chicano history, was celebrating Cesar Chavez's day today. Although his birthday was Monday, they had it today, and they invited a lot of students from Monterey Peninsula College. And I went. He had asked me to speak on the renaming of Santa Lucia College to Cesar Chavez College because I had been on the city council at that time. So I went and participated and sort of told them my story. It was a great morning. I also told them who I was, that I was a trustee with the Alisal School District, and encouraged them that if they had any family who had children that went to our schools to give me a call or to send me an email and to reach out and to see if I could help in any way. And I did, wish them good luck in their studies on behalf of the entire board. So I guess I went there sort of as a representative of this board, unofficially. But I was there, and it was a good morning. We had a few other speakers, and we all spoke about Chavez and Cesar Chavez and all the great contributions that he gave to this community. Obviously, I also spoke a little bit about, the fact that we have a Cesar Chavez Elementary School, which kind of adds to, the library, Chavez, the Chavez Park, and Cesar Chavez Elementary School. I think those are the three kind of memorials we have to Chavez in Salinas. I'm not aware of any more. So thank you, and that's my report.
Thank you, Mr. Ocampo. Mr. Jimenez?
I'd like to take this opportunity to thank Dr. Maria Alvarez for guidance and helping us during the CABE, the Conference Association of Bilingual Education Conference in Long Beach, California. Thank you, Dr. Alvarez. We have a great experience in the conference. I'm happy to have met with the company's representative in charge of the pilot education Byron program the district have implemented in 4 schools so far. One of these schools is Barding Elementary. We have a representation that they gave an excellent explanation of how the Viral program is working so far. They spoke highly of the 5th grade teacher, Mr. Fernandez, using him and his student as an example. The collaborative working among teachers in the same grade level will result in the excellent student education in our district. Thank you to Byron program and to the teachers who will be our next educational leaders. Thank you.
And thank you, Mr. Jimenez. And so I too wanted to say a couple of things. Last board meeting, I was unable to attend because I was ill. So some of these things that I'm going to say were part of March, the beginning of March. I was able to take part in the National School Breakfast Week that celebrates the importance of nutritional school breakfast and fueling students for success. I went over to the Steinbeck School and I served breakfast to our morning students. It was wonderful. They let me wear a chef's hat. I felt so important. And I want to shout out to all the classified employees that work in this food service because it's a lot of work. And that one day I was there, we had one employee there. She says she does get help during the second chance breakfast. So I'm glad to hear that is happening. And I want to shout out to Irene Vargas and her team, the food service team. I also understand that they were about to launch a new breakfast item, the parfait, and I'm coming back for the parfait. I'm going to taste that. It sounds like the students have a lot of choices during their meals, which is wonderful, because that way they don't, and they're able to take it home too, which is something different for me and my side. I've been in education for a long time, and the school district where I work, and we weren't able ever to let the kids take food home. And I'm glad to see there's a shift there that if they don't want to eat it right then and there, they could actually take it home with them. That's nice. I had the pleasure of being a judge at the Hartnell STEAM Family Showcase on Saturday, March 15th. And I was a judge for the Tech Challenge. And so I'm not going to be biased there. For the Tech Challenge, there was only LSL students, okay? So it was, there was other schools there, but for the Tech Challenge portion, there was only, I think, 3 teams of LSL. And so and I'm still trying to figure out the list of winners, and we'll get those to you guys, so we could acknowledge them properly, because we did have a winner out of those 3. And so yeah, it was wonderful. I saw a lot of engagement. It was lots of people there. It was wonderful, a wonderful time at Hartnell College. On March 24th, I was able to visit VRB for the spring intercession. Mr. Fausto took me around and he walked me to the different sessions. I got to see the Sweat 3 classes. It was a really hot day that day, though. It was it was worst day to be outside that day. So a lot of our kids were huddling under whatever type of shade they could find, because it was super hot on that Monday, but they made it work. I got to see the Forks in action, the SAL classes. That was wonderful, and some academics. And I do want to shout out to Tara Crampton, because I did see her. I think she was the lead that day for Virginia Rocca Barton, and it was wonderful to see her in action. She was really engaged in what she was doing, and all the teachers and staff that was there. And I too attended the CABE conference in Long Beach, and I was proud to see so many of our parents there. And I know we learned a lot about the roadmap and ELD framework, and we still have lots of questions, right? Because yes, we go to sessions, and then we have all these questions because we're not sure what the answers are. Maybe we'll get some presentation. I do also want to shout out to Maria Alvarez, because she did a fabulous job guiding our parents and officially helping us too. And it was wonderful to have her along for the ride. And lastly, and because I wasn't here, I want to congratulate Mrs. Monica Anzo on her new position as new superintendent. And I wish her all the best in this new chapter of her career. And I also want to wish Mr. Koenig the best in his upcoming retirement. So thank you. And that's all I have to say about, under board reports. Okay, moving on to item 5, consent agenda approval, ratify contracts, MOUs, agreements, grants, proposals, conferences, workshops, and field trips. Approval of a consent agenda. Again, a motion to approve the consent agenda.
Second.
Filipas. Okay, Mr. Ocampo, comments or questions?
Oh, yeah, I just had a comment on 5V, if I could. So 5V is a proposal for the purchase of a van for nutrition services from Salinas Valley Ford for a cost of $56,000. My comment basically is that I'm glad to see that we are purchasing the van from a local dealer, as opposed to purchasing from outside of our local community. And I believe that we should always attempt to buy locally whenever possible, because by buying locally, we are supporting our local businesses and we are stimulating our local economy. So I think it's a good practice that whenever possible, I think we should indulge in. I know it's not always possible, but when it's possible, I think we should look at buying locally and supporting our local businesses. Also, $56,000, the city sales tax, 9.5%, is about $5,000 plus dollars. So I'm sure the city of Salinas is happy to be getting the $5,000 revenue, going into your taxes. And I know that we have other local businesses in Salinas that we purchase from on a regular basis, and there's a few of them. So it's a good practice. I think we should continue doing that again, as much as possible. And I know that on these low-cost budgets, we don't have to go through a total, what do they call it? The process, I'm sorry, bidding, yeah. If the cost is not too much, we don't have to go through the entire bidding process, which I think gives us more discretion in terms of who we're going to hire. I think we tend, I guess, to go with the lowest bidder anyway, I guess, right? You know, I guess it's not as complicated as a more formal bidding process, I believe. I think that's how it works.
We participate in something called CUPCA, which allows us to, in many cases, just negotiate a contract with primarily a builder.
So anyway, that was my comment, and let's buy locally, support our economy. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other comments or questions from the board? Okay, Mr. Koenig, would you please take a line vote?
Board President Garcia,
Yes.
Vice President Ocampo,
Yes.
Trustee Gilpus Pereira, Trustee Jimenez.
Yes.
Motion passes 4-0, Ms. Perez being absent. Okay, we're moving on to item 6, business services. 6A, action item, resolution number 2425-18, designation of district representative on Monterey San Benito Joint Powers Authority Governing Board. I need a motion.
I make a motion.
Mr. Jimenez?
Mhm.
I take a second.
Second.
Mr. Ocampo, comments or questions? Mr. Koenig, can you take the line vote?
Board President Garcia,
Yes.
Vice President Ocampo,
Yes.
Trustee Gilpus Pereira, Trustee Jimenez.
Yes.
Okay, motion passes 4-0 with Ms. Bettis being absent. Moving on to item 6B, action item, resolution number 2425-19, declaring the futility of public bidding for additional work at Cesar A. Chavez Elementary School. Mr. Arabasi, can I get a motion?
So move.
Mr. Ocampo, Mrs. Gilpas Barrera, second. Comments or questions? Okay, Mrs. Gilpas Barrera?
Thank you. I think my main concern with this item is that it's a change of orders, but it's like for 389,000, I think almost 400,000. But I did have a conversation with Mr. Koenig about it. So sometimes the other construction companies, because we don't open it up for a bid, get a little bit bothered. But this is being done just because of the time and that things get more expensive and will be a bigger cost for us. And could you elaborate a little bit more, Mr. Abbasi?
Definitely, yeah. So if you go through the bidding process, it's going to be more expensive and more time consuming. And we are already deep in the planning and construction phase. I mean, we have done the groundwork, we have done much of the site preparation. So at this point, to stop the project and go through the bidding process, that can take months. So I think it's going to serve best. In our best interest is to just keep the project going and just continue with the project as we are, because we have all the information, we have the site preparation, we have all the contractors and subcontractors working on that. To stop all of that is going to be a big, huge waste of time and money.
And so what happened, the change order, was it the foundation or something? What happened? I mean, because that's a lot of money, 400,000. Because usually change orders don't go up to that much, and that's why we open the
They do
bidding,
not go up
correct?
to that much, but it's a big, huge site. I mean, the area that we're trying to treat is pretty large. And that's a common condition in Salinas. Anytime we start working, we realize that the soil is pumping. There's too much moisture in soil, and it's not possible to create a foundation for any building, or it's extremely risky to create a foundation on that moist soil until we treat that. And the treatments are expensive, and they are getting expensive by the day, actually. We had similar condition at Frank Paul when we were doing the repaving of the blacktop. That was also expensive treatment. But this is something that is going to happen anytime we are working on any of the projects.
Thank you, Mr. Abbasi.
So we are on item B, right?
Yes.
Okay. B.
B.
So we're taking, did we take a line vote?
President Garcia,
Yes.
Vice President Ocampo,
Yes.
Trustee Gilpus Pereira, Trustee Jimenez.
Yes.
Okay, item passes 4-0 with Ms. Bettis being absent. Moving on to item 6C, action item, change order request. Chavez Elementary School TK Building Project, Mr. Obasi, once again, yeah, calling for the motion.
Make a motion.
Mr. Jimenez?
Huh?
So, Guipas Barrera, comments or questions? This too is one of those change orders? Is that what this is?
Yes.
Like the other one that
same
we went
item.
over, right?
Yes. 6B and C are together.
Okay, got it. Mr. Koenig, can you please take the line vote?
President Garcia,
Yes.
Vice President Ocampo,
Yes.
Trustee Gilpus Pereira, Trustee Jimenez.
Yes.
Item passes 4-0 with Ms. Bettis being absent. Moving on to item 7, educational services. 7A, information, quarterly Williams Uniform Complaint Report Summary, April 2025, the months of January, February, and March. And we already got that information, right?
Mhm.
Thank you. Moving on to item 8, human resources. 8A, action item, request for a new position, district translator, interpreter, 1 full-time position. May I get a motion to approve this?
I make a motion.
Mr. Jimenez? Second? Which one of you? Ms. Gilpas Barrera? Mr. Ocampo? Okay, comments or questions? Comments or questions, board? I have a question. Is this the same job description that we keep talking about that has been open and we don't have anybody in it? Can you answer that?
The revised job description was approved at the last board meeting.
But when will this job get posted? Or is it already posted?
Tomorrow.
Okay, that gives us some hope. There you go. Mr. Koenig, can you please take the line vote?
President Garcia,
Yes.
Vice President Ocampo, Trustee Gilpus Pereira, Trustee Jimenez.
Yes.
Item passes 4-0 with Ms. Bettis being absent. Moving on to item 8B. Action item, request for new position, account technician 2. This is a .625 position. May I get a motion to approve this position?
Second.
Ms. Gilbas Barrera, followed by a second by Mr. Jimenez. Comments or questions? Mr. Koenig, can you please take the line vote?
President Garcia,
Yes.
Vice President Ocampo,
Yes.
Trustee Gilpus Pereira, Trustee Jimenez.
Yes.
Motion passes 4-0 with Ms. Bettis being absent. Item 9, Administrative Services. 9A, action item, revised board policies, administrative regulations, Series 3000, business and non-instructional operations included. May I get a motion?
So move.
Mr. Ocampo,
Second.
seconded by Mr. Jimenez. Comments or questions? None? Mr. Koenig, can you please take a line vote?
President Garcia.
Yes.
Vice President Ocampo,
Yes.
Trustee Gilpus Pereira, Trustee Jimenez.
Yes.
Item passes 4-0 with Ms. Bettis being absent. Number 9B, action item, obsolete board policies, administrative regulations, exhibit series 4000, personnel included. May I get a motion?
Second.
Ms. Gilbas Barrera, seconded by Mr. Ocampo. Comments or questions? Mr. Koenig, can you please take a line vote?
President Garcia,
Yes.
Vice President Ocampo,
Yes.
Trustee Gilpus Pereira, Trustee Jimenez.
Yes.
Motion passes 4-0 and Ms. Bettis being absent. Number 9C, first read, information only, adopt new board policies, administrative regulations, exhibit series 4000, personnel included. Moving on to action item 9D, National Association of Latino Elected Officials, the NALEO, 42nd Annual Conference, July 22nd to the 24th, 2025 in Atlanta, Georgia. Attendees are the board members. May I get a motion?
So move.
Mr. Ocampo,
Second.
seconded by Mr. Jimenez. And comments or questions? Ms. Gilpas Barrera?
Yes, and I may not be very popular for this, but I have to share a few thoughts, and that's how I feel. I know that NALEO is the national conference. Unfortunately, it's not a K through 6 educational conference. There's a lot of other, they're good sessions, but it's my thought, and I went to to NALEO last year when it was in Las Vegas. And I still feel the same way that it's not focused on K through 6. They do kind of scatter education here and then, but it's education in general. It's not, they don't have any sessions just for board members. I looked at, I don't think they have any sessions for K through 6. I think that we have the resources with MCOE and the California School Boards Association that we need for our tools to be able to have success for our students. We didn't talk, there was a lot of glitches in the last conference in CABE that maybe we're not aware of. I think we have to have a discussion on the logistics of conferences as a board, or maybe a committee, I don't know, but there's a lot of things that happen that it's my thought that our investment right now should be in, we're doing negotiations. We just got back from a conference. What are we offering our negotiating team? And yet we're just got back from one conference and we're going all the way to Atlanta, Georgia, where I don't know or see as a board what it could possibly offer our K through 6 board members, our K through 6 teachers that masters in governance cannot provide for us. That's my thought. So I won't be, well, when the vote, I won't be supporting this. It's a lot of money. And when we're talking about parents sharing rooms, and it's true. I mean, maybe some people will call it like the perks, but they're the fanciest motels ever. I'm sure more people, we can spend money on more people going to a conference, and maybe we could stay at a, I say we if I'm invited, but stay a lesser fancy conference. And maybe, I mean, we're having money issues. We're going to continue having money issues. So some of these far away Atlanta, Georgia conferences that are not for K-6 education, I'm so sorry. And that I'm just very, very concerned with that. There'll be one later. Maybe we can discuss it and find out what, or how do we report back? How do we report? We go to Atlanta, Georgia, and do we go to the sessions or don't? Who do we report to? There's no one to report to. And I have never had, and I'm not putting any board members down because you know I love you all. I don't even know if you've gone to NALEO. I have. But in the past, board members would go and nobody ever, I don't know of a policy or even a conversation that we had at the board brought back from this conference. So I'm sure it's a great conference for elected officials, but not for K-6. It's not focused on K-6 education. And so that's my thought. And I hope you all still like me afterwards.
Thank you, Ms. Gilpas Barrera. How about over here? Comments?
Yeah, I've been to NALEO, and they do have an educational fund that focuses on educational issues. I went to a lot of workshops that I thought were relevant, like workshops on artificial intelligence in education, workshops on career paths in education, housing in education, because the issues that kind of are out on the outside community seem to also be coming into districts, like the issue of affordable housing. We have like the Salinas Union High School District that built affordable housing for their teachers. So some of those issues are coming back to us. They have also workshops on medical insurance, and medical insurance is always a big issue in all districts. How do you insure your staff? with good insurance. In fact, the last time I went to Naleo, my wife went with me, and I wrote about a 7-page report that I gave to our staff that has all kinds of contact information, people with different programs that help schools, and the staff was given contact information. I don't know if there was any follow-up on that or not, but I did forward that to the staff. And I think Naleo is a good group. I think we need to be part of Naleo. It is nonpartisan, so everybody is invited to come. There's no political divisions there. But they do some fabulous work with voter registration, which I think is very important, and it hits home to all of us and to our parents also, especially given the present federal administration and their attacks on our community, which are very real attacks. We need to unite as Latino elected officials to support such things as voter registration, because that's going to be the future of our country, whether we can get our people registered to vote and whether we can get our people to actually go out and vote and start voting for presidential administrations, or start voting for elected people or policies that will benefit our community. So in my mind, Naleo is very important. I mean, I do respect, La Señora Quilpa's opinion, which is fine. I mean, I think we all work together well. If you want us to agree on 100% of the time, you're living in a fantasy land. But I think we agree on over 90% of the time. So I will be supporting Naleo. I think it's important. The other thing also is that if we look around at the other districts, like the Salinas Union High School District, and most of the districts, the Salinas City School District, they all send people to Naleo, and they've been sending people to Naleo for many years. So I think that they see the value of it in terms of their trustees. I do agree con la señora Quilpa said that in the foreseeable future, we more than likely are going to have to make some tough economic decisions. And yeah, Georgia is expensive. You bet. Naleo may or may not survive that economic scrutiny that we're going to go through. I don't know. But for the time being, I think we're in a good economic position. So so today I'm going to vote for the conference.
Okay, Mr. Jimenez, any comments or questions?
No, well, I want to say that thank you for your opinion, Mrs. Quilpas, but this time I'm agree with Mr. Ocampo's opinion. I'm I want to vote yes and for Naleo this time.
Okay, thank you. Any others? Okay. Okay, so my comment might be, it's more like, so yeah, we probably as a board should come up with a budget, right? So in the future, we probably need to figure out a budget for conferences and or workshops that we could adhere to, like every other school site. Okay, so moving on to the vote.
I'm sorry.
Oh,
since-
sorry. Go
Since you
ahead.
did ask,
Okay.
would I be out of line if I asked the board to come back for those who do go and tell us what workshops they attended? Would I be out of line? As a taxpayer, can I ask for that? You know what? Why don't I just make that a rhetorical question and then we can move on? You don't have to answer. Thank you.
Yeah, I don't know how to answer that one, Ms. Gilpas. I know that a lot, as a teacher, and I've gone to many conferences in my role as a teacher and my role as a vice principal and a principal, and everything I learned, I brought back physically to the site, but I don't know if board members have ever been asked to come back and do like a presentation, which is an easy thing to do. If we wanted to, we probably could, depending on how many of us show up, and we could work together with that. Okay, we're going to move on to line vote. Mr. Koenig, can you please take a line vote?
Board President Garcia,
Yes.
Vice President Ocampo,
Yes.
Trustee Gilpus Pereira, Trustee Jimenez.
Yes.
Okay, so item passes 3-1, and with Ms. Perez being absent. Okay, moving on to item 10, future agenda items. A, board study session, district policy on mobile communications devices, including cell phones, April 23rd. And the 10B, department presentation by Director Julio Castro, also April 23rd. Future item 10C, school site presentations by Mr. Principal Jose Juan Urquizo. That'll be taking place on May 14th. And presentation by Deputy Superintendent Monica Anzo on school safety and the site safety plan implementation, dealing with bullying. That'll be taking place on May 14th. And on number 11, you see all our future meeting dates for this school year. And then I'm moving on to item 12, public comments, closed session agenda items only, guidelines. There will be a 2-minute limit for individuals and a 20-minute limit on total public comments. There is no ceding of one's time to other individuals. Item 12A, individuals wishing to address the Board of Trustees on closed session agenda items may do so at this time, and the starting time is 7:02. Do we have input? Okay, it doesn't look like we have anybody, so I am going to close this item at 7:02 as well. And we are going to adjourn to closed session and I'm going to call it 7:03. We will be taking a 10-minute break, so closed session will begin promptly at 7:13. Thank you.
You can't go.
Vamos a tener lo mismo lo que está pasando en Los Ángeles. La gente también va a estar. ¿O ya lo tuvo? Yo pensé, ya. Cuando yo pensé que solamente había que meter Los Ángeles. Yo no sabía eso. Ok. No se me enojar la primera, ¿verdad?
Vámonos. No, es que estoy muy cómodo hoy.
¿Cómo le ha ido, mister?
Me tengo que levantar. Bueno, de modo, hay que levantar, ¿verdad? Vámonos. Ay, Dios mío.
Hey, my friend, ¿cómo estás?
Okay, we're returning back from closed session at 8:15. And I got 2 items to report in closed session. By a vote of 4-0 with Ms. Perez absent, the board appointed Margarita Camacho as a community school coordinator. Congratulations, Margarita Camacho. By a vote of 4-0 with Ms. Perez absent, the board appointed Alexis Diaz-Infante as a community school coordinator. Congratulations, Mrs. Diaz-Infante. And with that, we will end our meeting at 8:16. Thank you all.
Thank you. Good
Have a
night.
good evening.